Well, welcome back, everybody. I hope you had a great break, and we gave you some time off, so hopefully you're fully rested and ready to go to take the test tomorrow. Yeah, I know it's right upon us. So the first thing you need to make sure you do is study up that map on my website, also in the Google Classroom. But what we're going to do today is we're going to quickly run through your study guide. Copy of the study guide has also been loaded up onto Google Classroom if you want to fill that out. Trust me, it's good to fill it out, but just watch also the video here, and you'll be prepared for the test tomorrow, and you'll do fantastic if you watch the video. All right, so let's just get jumping into it and work our way through really fast. That way we don't have to take up too much of your time today. All right. Starting off here, how many factors are there that influence how well an economy works, and what are they? Well, there, of course, are 7 of them. And those are labor force, natural resources, equipment and tools, transportation, money and credit, demand, and profit. Okay, next up. Which factor is the all of the men, women, and children available to work? That would be the labor force. That was made up of people who basically can go and do work. All right, all of the things that occur naturally in nature and are useful to humans are called, this should be easy since it's right there, naturally in nature, natural resources. All right, next. What do we call the desire or the need for a product or service? Well, that is demand. If you need it, you demand it, and you want it, it's a demand. All right, what is the money made from selling a product or service called? What's that money called after you take away all the cost of expenses and everything else? Why, that would be profit. Okay, next up, what increased the labor force in the Northeast? Remember, we're talking the Northeast. That would have been immigration. You have a lot of people coming over from Europe in order to take part of the American dream. Okay, which of the 3 of the following 4 resources contributed most to the development of the Northeast? If you are following along on your study guide, which you should be, you would be able to see that there's 4 of them on there. One is iron ore, one is coal, one is definitely not oil, and the last one is river water. Okay, what were the 4 forms of transportation that had the biggest impact on the development of the Northeast? 4 forms of transportation, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, canals. Number 2, steamboats. 3, steam trains. 4, turnpikes. Those are the 4 major forms. Make sure you are aware of them. Okay, what is the name of the large textile company that produced cotton into cloth in the Northeast that was mentioned in this chapter? Why, that would be the Boston Manufacturing Company. Okay, next up, why were there a high demand for U.S. products? Well, they were less expensive than imported products. Key word, less expensive. Okay, next. People from which group were most likely to be hired for textile mills between 1820 and 1840? Why, of course, that would have been the young women. We studied all about that. What was the name of the Women's Right Convention that discussed the political rights of women? Why, that would be the Seneca Falls Convention. Okay, next up. What is the right to vote called? Well, the women were fighting for universal suffrage. Keyword, suffrage. Okay, which industry created thousands of jobs in the 1800s? Why, that would be railroads. It changed the entire way that the American economy worked in most regards. Okay, to raise money for the Land Grant College Act, what land was sold in what part of the country? Why, that would be the West, because there was a ton of undeveloped property out there that the government could sell, or they'd displace people and sell their property. One way or another, they were getting property. Okay, next, which natural resources was most abundant during the development of the West? Well, we just kind of talked about that. Land for farming. Okay, which two tools were the most important to the development of the West? Remember, this is the West. The first one, of course, is the mechanical reaper to allow them to harvest crops faster and more efficiently. And then, of course, steel plows so that they could get through that hard, tough, overburdened portion of the Midwest farmlands. Okay, which form of transportation most helped Western farmers get their products to market? Well, that would be steamboats. Okay, expanding populations in which two parts of the world increased the demand for Western agricultural products? One of them was the eastern United States, and the second one was Europe. Okay, what was the industry in the West that was the most profitable? Why, go back to the land again, farming. Which group of people made up most of the labor force in the South? That would be, of course, slaves. All right, what was the most important invention that helped the economy of the South? That would be the cotton gin. Which Southern product was most demanded in the 1800s? That would be cotton. In the South, money and credit was really only available to one type of industry. What was it? Well, that would be large plantations. Okay, and which two elements were the most important for the development of the economy in the South? Two things. Remember this, two things. First off, slave labor. Second, land. Okay, that ends this PowerPoint right here. What you guys need to do is make sure you study up on this. Make sure that you look through the answers. I would highly recommend downloading that study guide, filling it out, because that will help your brain remember some of these answers. So if you need to, print the study guide, follow along in the PowerPoint, fill it out as it goes along. Maybe do it and go through the PowerPoint 2 or 3 more times, and I guarantee you guys will be successful. This is not going to take very long, guys, for you to study through this a couple times to ensure your success tomorrow. All right, guys. Well, I will see you not tomorrow, because after today, you're just going to take the test. Remember, there will be a time limit on the test that needs to get done by 8 p.m. on Tuesday. If that does not work for you, you need to send me an email and let me know why. All right, I will see you guys on Wednesday.